Yeah, away we go. The Monday edition, Mr. Irrelevant, of episode 307. I'm Alex Strouf with you from the Gerber Law Offices. One call, that's all studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. JOSHY DiMaggio is here. Will Sommers is here on a Monday for a Will Sommers Weekend in review. Hunter Vaughn is here as well. Returns from a day on assignment on Friday back at the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. All right, plenty to get into. All Brewers all the time, except we'll talk a little Packers at the end of the show. Plenty to get to when it comes to Game 2 tonight between the Brewers and the Cubs at AmFam Field. The Brewers, of course, with a 1-0 series lead. Let's go, baby. I got my rally towel. It's not actually mine, but it's a rally towel.
No, you wouldn't be able to get a rally towel.
What do you mean?
Where'd you watch the game?
Game 1, you mean?
Yep.
I watched it at Oktoberfest in Milwaukee at the Summerfest grounds.
Huh.
What's that?
It's Oktoberfest.
Why? Do you have a picture of it? We should have done that.
Yeah, it's on the screen right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's from a group chat that I texted in, Go Crew, and it's a picture of the U.S. Cellular stage. However, it was blocked off very far back, which I thought was interesting.
Right, and you got a nice little sun glare there happening too, so you can actually just sort of barely see the screen.
Oh no, you could see the screen fine.
Maybe I'll give you the excuse of maybe it didn't translate so well via the picture.
It didn't.
But I can hardly imagine a worse place to try and consume
Why is that?
a Brewers game. Because how was the sound?
It was good.
Yeah?
It was good. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
at a concert venue.
Yeah,
of course it was good.
and you were just in the back there, just hanging out?
I was actually in the front of where people were allowed. We had the front table. There was a bunch of people behind me.
Now, as somebody who's attended Oktoberfest, correct me if I'm wrong here, and I know I'm not, but Oktoberfest was happening after the Brewers game and into the night.
It was happening during the Brewers game.
Right, but it was still happening.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. So why were you watching it in those circumstances?
Because I caught wind that they would be showing the Brewers game at Oktoberfest. And I thought, oh, good beer. Outside, it's nice out. Outside place to watch the game. So I thought that was the move.
How would you say your viewing experience went?
I'll just say this. I may or may not have said, if they go up by 7 at any point, we're leaving.
And then, did they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're up 9-1.
9-1.
It also was like not
Whoa, what was that?
me talking.
He's got a little voice issue going on.
What's going on?
I noticed it all day.
Huh?
You got a little voice issue going on?
Somebody might have had a big weekend.
No. I was cheering on the Brewers at an actual establishment inside. Which
Yeah,
is
we
my
were
point.
at the same establishment, allegedly, at some point. So I went to bars for the end of the game, and I was in the same one that you were in.
Hold on.
I left before the end of the game.
Okay, that would be
I
why.
went to
So-
a different one.
The biggest Brewers game in 4 years?
Yeah, they go up 7 runs, I jump in an Uber and get to a different bar, yeah.
Why wouldn't you have stayed where you were? Because
It was warm, and the beer was expensive, and the viewing experience was not a 10 out of 10. To your point.
how did you end up... Was this a you idea?
Yes.
Because what I was going to give you a little sympathy on is the other person in your house made an executive decision and you felt bad
No, so it
denying
wasn't just us. So one of my best friends was in town with his girlfriend. They did a Saturday and Sunday night in Milwaukee. And so we had a dinner reservation at 8 p.m. on Saturday. I've had it for weeks. So it worked out very nice that the Yankees won over the Red Sox to make this the early afternoon game. So I had acquired tickets to Oktoberfest, and I was like, all right, that sounds fun to go check out. And then I heard they were viewing it, so I was like, oh, perfect, we can watch the game there, showing it. I was viewing it. Mm-hmm. And I thought, okay, we'll go watch the game there.
What?
And look.
Let's do a little role reversal here.
Yeah, sure.
Would you ever do this if it was a Packers playoff game?
Yeah.
You would go?
That's a lie.
You are such a
it's
liar.
obviously-
I've seen how you
the
are when you watch
circumstances are
Packer
Such a
games.
lie.
The circumstances are different because it's January during the playoffs versus October and it's 85
you know
degrees outside.
what I'm driving at.
I have watched playoff games in bars, yes.
That's nuts.
I don't know how you do
In
it.
your professional life?
Yes.
Not recommended.
Who'd they lose to this year?
The Packers?
Yeah, the Eagles. Where did I watch that game? I watched it at home.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think past years. The previous year, you and I were here for both games.
Yeah.
We did a live stream. Year before that, they did not make the playoffs. The year before that, they lost to the Niners. I was at that game. Year before that, who'd they lose to in 20?
Tampa?
I wasn't at that game. I watched that. I had a party. I still lived in Stevens
Point.
Greg
Skelzel's driveway.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. My life is designed around Wisconsin sporting events.
Yep, mine too.
All of
frankly.
them. And if someone suggested to me, let's go watch this from a distant bleacher on a screen,
in my defense,
I would tell them they're out of their mind, and whatever you're going to do it without.
Hold on. So this is where you're getting ahead of yourself. You are operating under the assumption that I knew what the setup would be.
No, it's not even. What did you think? You were going to have a big screen TV in front of you?
Yes, that's the way it was explained to me. Yes, they would have our buddy Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. He brings a big projector screen to our Wisconsin College Game Day and Green Bay Game Day tailgates, and I thought there would be a couple of those scattered throughout Oktoberfest. So I thought, I could grab a picnic table right by. It'll be great. It'll be a good setup. That's what I was anticipating. I didn't think they were going to utilize the stages.
Yes.
Now, I wish they would have not had us 100 yards back of the stage.
Correct.
So I had no idea what the setup was. So when we saw it, I was like, okay, we can deal with this. The sound was great, though.
This feels like something you need to let happen and then maybe go experience once you get the layout.
Sure, hindsight's 2020.
You walked
sure,
in blind to something that, frankly, when I saw it, I was flabbergasted.
Yeah, you texted me and said put aside 10 minutes to the show on Monday, and here we are.
This is funny too because it's like messing up watching a playoff game. Messing up watching a playoff baseball game should not happen.
Yeah, no.
It's simple. It's
too
simple.
high stakes.
Well, the ingredients are easy.
I got out of there in like the 5th. I got to a bar by the 6th, and I got to see the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning at a bar.
But when the game was at that stage, why even bother watching the end then?
Because it's the Brewers and it's the playoffs. What do you mean? Why would I watch the end?
But you understand you're ascribing a type of importance to it that you didn't ascribe to the start of the game.
No, it was very important to me, but I thought this would be like an awesome way to take in the game, and it just kind of fell short of my initial expectations.
This is just you being a bad decision maker.
Ultimately, yeah.
To me,
see, even going anywhere for a playoff game, like that's a non-starter.
Well, in my defense, I will do better tonight.
Good. Oh, I'm proud of you that you're going to be able to consume from your couch the 8 p.m. Monday first.
I actually was pondering seeing if Will wanted to hit a bar.
No chance.
We just can't trust you.
Zero chance.
Isn't that what you did Saturday?
Yeah, but I also had friends coming in from out of town, so I wanted to make it special for them.
That's what I did. I had friends in from out of town.
Yeah, those poor people got dragged to Oktoberfest.
They got good beer.
You could not pay me.
That you just said was expensive.
It was, but you got to fund the festival. Yeah.
Thank you for
admission.
Thank you for single-handedly keeping Oktoberfest afloat.
Yep. Can't wait for next year.
We love our partners over there, but when you have to this is lock-in territory. They put those up for people who were like, "Oh, let's go catch an inning. Let's go see what's happening."
No, there was a ton of people there in the Brewers gear that were put. They stayed put.
Maybe I just misjudged everyone.
There was many other people had the same idea as me. And then I thought, okay, then we'll do Oktoberfest activities. But then we were an hour into the game after 2 innings, and we were running out of time.
I guess it just shows you there's a lot of people out there that make as bad decisions as you do.
Oh, dude, there's 8 billion people in the world. Of course there is.
To me, playoff game is I'm locked in on the couch.
And that's, I assume, what you were doing.
Correct.
That's what I'll be doing tonight. I've
miss
learned,
a pitch. Didn't need to catch an Uber mid-game.
I've learned from my mistakes, but I've also watched plenty of Brewers baseball game or playoff games in bars. Now,
that to me is fine.
The one rule I have is I need to be bellied up. I need a seat at the bar.
Yeah, some places though like have literally TVs like in your
scattered everywhere, right?
Like you'd have to be trying to not see the TVs to not see the TVs. And baseball to me is more conducive to in a bar because the pace is slower.
Sure.
There is there is a lot more happening, and it's less I need to be locked in every play.
Nevaeh chimes in, if I'm not attending live, it is home viewing. Cannot listen to uneducated fans, which I did run into quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because they could tell I was getting real into it. I was pacing after the Bush home run.
Pacing.
I was. I'm a pacer, though. I'm a nervous Nelly.
This guy won first leadoff home run. How many pitches into the game and we're pacing due to stress?
Brother, I pace all the time due to stress.
Sucks that there was 27 more outs to play. Dang.
Okay, you guys are being rude.
One whole run.
You watch Packers games with me, Josh. I pace. I'm a pacer. I got to move around a little bit.
I was going to try and defend Strouf a little bit and being like, okay, yeah, I would need to get up away from people who don't know ball in that situation just because I want to try and correct people. Like, if I'm at a game, there's multiple times in a baseball game where Sarah and I will hear someone say something, and I'm about to turn around, and she knows I am, and she'll, like, put her hand on my shoulder and just be like, don't. Like, you don't need to correct the lady that was, like, questioning why they're bringing in a pinch hitter in the 8th inning of a game.
Maybe I'm not doing a good enough explanation of this, but as somebody who's apparently living and dying by even the first 3 pitches, to then decide I'm going to go risk it and hope that the Oktoberfest viewing is suitable for my requirements, those two things don't mesh well.
I knew they were going to win.
They are.
The game 1 win was
You
a
went
guarantee.
into game 1 of the NLDS saying, yep, they're going to win. You are such a liar.
We all did the show together on Friday. I did say that.
But then you got so stressed after a singular run by the first batter of the game that you
right off the rip, a home run is certainly not the, ooh, I feel really good now that you need.
If you were that certain, then it wouldn't affect you.
Yeah.
I mean,
one of these two doesn't add up here.
You make 0 sense.
So lost. So he's living and dying by every pitch, and then chooses the worst possible place to go.
Fix your voice before you talk to me. Fix your voice.
Lash out. Ad hominem.
I think it's just getting deeper.
Puberty will. Back it off.
Sorry, I'm still growing.
Hey, don't deflect from your terrible fandom, Strouf.
This is.
It's not terrible fandom. It's bad decision making. I still watch the game.
But
Again,
your bad decision making led to not a good experience watching the game in a game that you're supposed to live and die by every pitch, and you were so stressed out that you started freaking out after the third pitch.
But hold on. The good news is the Brewers got that game to a point very quickly where nobody needed to worry. And obviously there were still, 6 or 7 innings of baseball left, but I think everybody was like, okay, yeah, this one's over. What?
It's just... Let's talk about the game. Freddie Peralta and his great defense.
I don't know. Have we ever explained this joke on the air before?
We did.
Well, it happened on the air.
But you didn't call me on it.
I did, yeah. I think I did.
No, you brought it up 2 days later off the air.
Yeah,
you guys were talking smack behind my back.
You did like a medal in it for a couple days after. You kept bringing it up, replaying the
So
clip.
at the beginning of the baseball season, this is months old, I talked about, I assume it was Freddie, or just in general, maybe how good the pitchers were. And I
this feels like it was smack dab around the trade deadline.
And I just made a comment about how the defense is so solid with the pitching.
I believe, if it serves me, or if I remember correctly, you described pitching as defense.
Yeah, which I
you stand by still.
I'm about to say that, but let me say something else first. I understand why it's wrong, but I don't think it's as wrong as you're making it out to be. Right, I used this analogy via text over the weekend.
It's the worst one. Hey, what if everything was different and I made it fit into my particulars?
Yeah. Terrible analogy.
What if I changed the sport?
Kicking is a stat, right, in football. Kicking is a stat. Your field goal percentage, your extra points, etc. Kicking is its own statistic, but it is a part of special teams. Whereas pitching is its own thing. That's why a shortstop doesn't win the Cy Young. But pitching, in order to have defense...
Here we go.
And he's into the corner.
In order to have defense, you need pitching.
3 sentences, and he backed himself into the corner he can't get out of.
No?
Once he started to slow down, I knew it was over.
He said,
I
no.
felt it. I felt it.
Oh, no.
I gotta be honest, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, but I knew it.
That was apparent.
Can we talk about the game?
Yeah, I tried to. Freddie Peralta, great defense, 9 strikeouts. Don't need to play
defender.
Don't need to play defense when you're striking out 9.
Platinum glove.
He was dealing.
I'd like to take this moment to say I feel bullied.
Good.
You should.
Mission accomplished.
Unconditionally Relentless on ESPN Wisconsin is brought to you by the Nero Spine Center of Wisconsin. Unbelievable win for the Brewers on Saturday. Truly. I mean, it was a game in which I think we all had confidence going into, all right, the week off should serve them well as long as they don't come out slow, and slow they did not come out. They batted around the order twice in a row to start that game in the first and the second inning. Jackson Chourio had 3 hits in 2 innings. First Brewer to ever do that in the postseason. And we'll get to more on Jackson Chourio in a minute with obviously the hamstring issue going on. But all in all, that offense, JOSHY,
Yep.
was terrific early in that game. To get it to a point early where, as I just mentioned, I think all of us by the 3rd or 4th inning went, this one's over. You trust the bullpen, you trust Freddie, and if they strike back, you believed in where that and how that offense was playing, that they had the ability to tack on more runs if necessary. Everybody seemingly came up big at one point or another. I mentioned Chourio's 3 hits in the first 2 innings, but talk about William Contreras, talk about Christian Yelich, talk about Bryce Terang, talk about Blake Perkins,
Durbin.
Talk about Will's twin, Caleb Durbin, who obviously had the big RBI. I think you can make a case for so many different guys in this team that came up big offensively early in that one to put it out of reach. And then, of course, we got the beautiful irony full circle moment of Aaron Savale not only pitching, but pitching well for Chicago out of the bullpen.
And 2, Andrew Vaughn.
Yeah. I didn't mention his name, but he was also good.
Uh-huh.
Didn't get what I was manifesting, though. I really wanted a Vaughn off Savale home run, which would have been a terrific moment.
It would have. It was unnecessary. What we saw is what made the Brewers so difficult for so many teams to beat throughout the course of the season. En route to 97 wins, that gave them the best record in all of baseball. What we saw was a constant assault of balls in play, making the defense either try and make a play and create an error, or just simply hitting it into a gap, squeaking it by. Wherever the ball was going, the Brewers were aggressive on the base pass. They were taking every base they could. And before you knew it, every single person in the stadium, including all the Cubs, knew that this one's over. Mm-hmm. Freddie was pitching well at that point, aside from the first inning hiccup that made you do laps around.
I didn't do laps, just a
made
quick
you
pass.
do laps around Oktoberfest.
Quick pace.
There was no doubt after that first inning that the Brewers are well on their way to victory. It's the best way to consume one of these series, and I think you could have made a case for the offense coming out slowly just because of the layoff and the way certainly September ended for them. But they hit the ground running, and it instills a ton of confidence throughout the rest of the series, which I think is monumental.
Yeah.
Because how many times was it the past 3 appearances in the playoffs? The offense in game 1 and a lot of times game 2 looked like utterly it wasn't
flat.
there. Yes. And that was a considerable difference, and it gives you confidence that the Brewers are going to continue to put bat on ball, put the ball in play, and take advantage of it. And the Cubs, because of the way they're constructed, if they don't have their power going, they're going to have a really tough time. Mm-hmm. And that's what we saw. We saw, would they have 3 home runs in that game?
Yep.
But it was for a grand total of 3 runs. So that is usually a good formula for a lot of teams, but it's not against the Brewers.
Yeah, Freddie Peralta, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks. If I give you this stat line, I just don't think you're going to come up with the right answer, but I know you know the answer. If I told you a pitcher had 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 total runs, a strikeout, and 1 walk, I imagine you say, oh yeah, he probably went 4 innings, 5 innings.
Yeah, I mean, it depends.
2/3 of an inning did Matthew Boyd.
Yeah.
That is the most satisfying part of this entire game, that Craig Counsell made the decision to start him on short rest, and it just backfired spectacularly.
Spectacularly is the right word.
But everyone in the organization supported it. Craig wasn't feeling the pressure of that and didn't feel like maybe he was responsible to getting their doors blown off in game 1 of the NLDS.
No, so 9-3 was the Brewers win on Saturday, and I want to move on to tonight's game in a moment, but first I want to hear from Pat Murphy because this was just a spectacular moment. Yesterday during his off day availability with the media, he was asked, there was a moment that went, I don't want to say super viral, but went semi-viral on social media over the weekend, and that was when the players were introduced in AmFam Field, and they ran out to high-five all their teammates on the first baseline. Pat Murphy, of course, at the end of the line, players went to high-five him or shake his hand, and he just wouldn't do it. And this is something he's done in the past, but obviously picked up a little bit more notice because of, obviously, it's a national stage, it's a big game, you're the only game on, and it's debatably, I think just eye test the most intriguing series in the divisional round. Here is what Pat Murphy said as to why he doesn't shake his players' hands when they come out to greet him before the game. It's a very great response from from Wisconsin's uncle, Pat Murphy.
It's been a tradition. I've done it for 10 years now. Whenever we've had introductions, I just think I call it happy horse manure. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of happy horse. Sounds better when I use the other word, but I'm not going to use it because I don't use that kind of language, public setting. But it's just like a lot of happy horse. You know what I mean? Like we got a lot of this, and then you go down the line, shake their hands, and then they go warm up, and then they come in the dugout and you shake their hands and you do some crazy handshake with them. You know what I mean? And I'm like, this is a lot of happy horse. Let's play the game.
Let's play the game. It's Pat Murphy yesterday at American Family Field. He's the best. I still find myself going, how in the world did this guy become the manager of the Brewers? Because the saying often, and whatever it is, whether it's business or sports, you never want to be the guy after the guy. And for us Brewers fans, I think entering last season without Craig Counsell when he decided to move to the Cubs, okay, we don't know a ton about this Pat Murphy guy, but we'll see how it goes. And Craig Counsell had brought, during his tenure as the manager of the Brewers, the golden and began the golden age of Brewers baseball. So you didn't really know what to expect as your manager, who got a lot of credit for what he was able to do in his several seasons with the Brewers. You didn't know what they were going to be. And all of a sudden in comes this bench coach who, had a really good collegiate track record, but you just don't know a ton about him, despite being on the staff for several years. And he's just like the best dude. He's the best manager in baseball. Seriously, he's going to win NL Manager of the Year again this year. But he's charismatic. He's funny. He's a player's coach. He's a player's manager. He's an unbelievable maximizer, which is something I've talked about before. I just think he doesn't get enough credit about how he takes this group of misfits and somehow transforms them into the winningest team in Major League Baseball in 2025. And listening to Pat Murphy joke around with the media and talk about this tradition he has of not acknowledging his players pregame is just awesome. He's just the best. And Brewers fans, and I know we are as Brewers fans, but Brewers fans should be just super grateful that this is the dude leading the charge, because what we're witnessing is magic. And I know Brew Magic is the team's hashtag for this postseason run. But I mean, it really is magic. And the lead magician is Pat Murphy and what he's been able to do with this team the last 2 years. And just hearing him, say, let's just play the game. I don't need to do no goofy ass handshakes. Just play the game. He's the best. It's awesome. And it makes me really fired up for game 2 tonight. So let's get into game 2 tonight, because a couple of interesting things coming out of that. Let's start with Jackson Chourio, because I would imagine he probably doesn't go tonight after retweaking that right hamstring in the game 1 win on Saturday. He was awesome. 3 for 3, 3 RBI and a run before tweaking the hamstring on his way to first base. Comes out of that game, but the Brewers had a big lead, so you're kind of hoping, all right, let's just hope it's cautionary measures. Precautionary measures or cautionary measures? I think they both work there, don't they?
Sure.
After the game, Pat Murphy kind of says it could be devastating. That's a direct quote. And then the direct quote from Chourio is, "I feel fine." A little bit different messaging. He had some tests. He had a little bit of a workout yesterday during the off day, Chourio, but I would assume we do not see him tonight. It's going to be Collins in left field, Perkins in center, and Sal Frelick in right field, we assume, here again tonight against the Chicago Cubs. The hope is this just isn't season ending or even series ending. Now, it sounds like it certainly wasn't as bad as the hamstring tweak he had earlier in the season. But let's keep in mind about something with that hamstring tweak earlier in the season. There is proof of concept for the Brewers winning without their debatable best player. That 14-game win streak they went on, Jackson Chourio played in a total of 0 of those games. This team can win without Jackson Chourio. Now, we'll all agree, we don't want them to win without Jackson Chourio. This is not best case scenario. But the team has proven time and time again they are capable of winning without Jackson Chourio. And with a 1-game cushion in this NLDS, you feel good about the Brewers winning 2 more, even if Jackson Chourio can't go the remainder of the series, and hopefully you get him back in the NLCS next week. But all in all, there should be at least a level of concern. But it sounds, at least from the initial reports we've gotten in the last 48 or so hours, that there shouldn't be a reason for total concern. He's a young dude. He bounces back faster. And he sounded pretty optimistic in terms of the injury, despite tweaking his hamstring again, which is obviously the troublesome hamstring that he dealt with earlier in the season. But all in all, while we likely don't see him tonight, I think we should still feel okay about his future this postseason, Joshy.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if Pat Murphy was trying to take a tone on purpose that would give a sense of maybe he's not going to be there on Monday or throughout the rest of the series, and that very well may end up being the case. But the two messages being sent seem to not coincide. The interesting part was we did get an ability to see Jackson Chourio jogging yesterday. It didn't seem like he was really giving it his all. I think out of precaution and just knowing you have a young guy that you have a lot more hope for than just being an NLDS, you probably play it safe. At least have him sit out tonight. Perhaps even longer, perhaps the whole series. I do think they feel pretty good about a guy like Isaac Collins stepping in and performing in the spot that he would be thrust into. Obviously, you want Jackson as much as you can have Jackson, but if that means NLCS is out of the question or there's potential to aggravate this injury and send him into the offseason without seeing the field again, then you just play on the high side of caution. So, to me, it wasn't encouraging. I didn't see what everyone was describing, and maybe you guys did when watching the broadcast. It seemed like he landed a little awkward, but I didn't see the telltale, like, totally grab.
So he didn't grab. He never grabbed. They showed the replay a million times, and that was the number one thing I had my eye on, Josh.
That's what I was watching for, and they, like, kept talking about it, but I couldn't see it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it seemed like he was okay, and then I missed which coach it was, but a coach over there on first base put kind of a note card in front of his face and did the old. I imagine it was something to the level of, "Hey, we're up by 7 runs. Why don't you go hit the showers early?
Yeah,
get some tests done. Make sure you're all right. Go ice it. Whatever you need to do." But I would anticipate we don't see Jackson tonight.
Yeah, it doesn't.
If they lose tonight, do we see him Wednesday? Maybe, but
I don't even know then. Because then it's 1-1.
Yeah, let him rest as long as he needs to. But hopefully you go up 2-0 and you bring the series to Chicago looking to close it out.
I mean, you have enough guys, too, we just said it. Everyone has been stepping up. So there's no reason to not feel confident that this lineup still can't get it
just
done.
Put Andrew Monasterio in left field.
I mean, Isaac Collins, we forget, was the front runner for Rookie of the Year.
He was certainly in very deep contention, and then he kind of fell off the month of September. But it's baseball. You know this better than most will.
Switch hitter, too. Matchup nightmare.
People have slumps in baseball.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does.
Let's get out of that slump, though, tonight, if Isaac Collins is your guy. I would guess Terang goes to leadoff. If, obviously, Chourio, they batted him leadoff on Saturday. I would guess it's Terang tonight. Maybe Sal. But I would lean Terang in that leadoff spot.
I'm okay not seeing Sal lead off.
Not in the postseason. I tend to agree with you. keep them in that 5 or 6 range. And likely that's where you have Collins as well. I mean, I would guess your lineup looks something to the sort of, I would go maybe Terang, Yelich, Contreras, Vaughn tonight, and then keep 5 through 9 the same. But we'll see what they come up with. But I wouldn't mind that Terang leading off. He batted second on Saturday, and then moving Yelich from cleanup to 2, and then putting Vaughn in cleanup. I think that does the trick. And then you keep 5 through 9 the same, with the addition, obviously, of Collins.
I trust Pat Murphy to make the right decision.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the order.
No.
Any combination of what we got, I'm confident.
Well, and the thing is, there's plenty of guys who can hit leadoff, and you'd feel like Christian Yelich was hitting leadoff for a while, and that seemed to be working.
Yeah.
It's worked with both Bryce and Sal. So whatever the matchups dictate, whoever has the background analytics for it. Mm-hmm. I did think Jackson, one of the more historically low walk rates hitting leadoff was interesting, but then he just ripped off 3 hits and got everything going. So it's like, well,
hard to be mad at that.
Right.
Hard to be mad at that. I just want to get to some of your comments before we get to another decision that I think more people are questioning than maybe the lineup as we just ran through it for game 2 tonight. And that, of course, is a pitching decision. We'll get to that in a moment. But PM chimes in and says, you're right, Strouf. We need to win without Jackson. We need him back, but it's a long postseason if they're in it to win it all. The Brewers are the best team, regardless of what people say. Saying that everybody plays down to them as a trash take. The winning streaks are not by luck. That from PM. Matthew chimes in. It's a luxury for Brewers fans to have Collins as a bench guy. He likes Terang at leadoff and puts Sal at 6. And Matthew says he likes my batting order. So there you go, fellas. Guy knows ball. Let's get to this because it's a, no pun intended, a curveball, I think, of what everybody was anticipating heading into the postseason. I think we all felt pretty comfortable with the idea that starter in game 1 would be Freddie, starter in game 2 would be Quinn Priester, and starter in game 3 would be Jose Quintana on the first road game. And obviously he played in Chicago, so it's a place he's comfortable pitching. It just felt like that was the easy 1, 2, 3, boom, those are your guys. And Pat Murphy says yesterday, well, actually, just wait a minute. Quinn Priester not going to open/start game 2. Here is the manager yesterday when asked, hey, who's pitching in game 2 against Chicago?
Ashby's going to start. Yeah. What's his first name? Aaron, I just call him Ashby. I've known him for how many years has he been with us?
This is 5th year.
5th year? I just known him as Ashby.
Priester follow?
Huh?
Priester following?
So now you want to know who's pitching and then who's coming in the game after that?
Yes.
Do you want to know who's substituting in the 5th inning?
I guess that.
All right, no, I don't know if Priester will be next. I really don't.
So that to me sounds like the answer of he doesn't know what the score is going to be when Ashby comes out of the game. And he doesn't know when Ashby's going to come out of the game.
Yeah.
My guess, and Joshy will tell me if you feel any different than me about this, but my guess is the plan in an ideal world is Ashby goes 3 innings, get through the order. Hopefully you go 9 up, 9 down, you get through 3 innings, you get through the order once, or maybe it's 2 1/3, or whatever, you get through the order once, and then you turn to Quinn Priester, have him come out, and hopefully he can go 5 innings, and then you really just have to go Uribe, McGill, game over.
It depends on how Craig Counsell decides to counter the opener. Is he going to drop some of those guys in the lineup? Is he going to counter with switching some guys out to try and take advantage of Ashby right off the bat? All that is going to matter into the context. I think in the perfect world, you would probably have Ashby go even 2 if you could.
Yeah.
I don't know how comfortable they feel with that, but that is potential, and it's going to probably base on, one, how he looks, and who is set to go up against him, because the top of the Cubs order hits very well against sinkers and splitters, I believe, and that's kind of a lot of what Quinn Priester does. He gets all the ground balls, all of that. So it's probably going to be a reaction to what he's seeing, any possible substitutions. And I mean, that's going to go back and forth between Murph and Counsell all game. They're going to counter and see who can finally get the right right method. I don't know for sure what we're going to see. I think it's possible we could see really anybody, and maybe they save Priester for Game 3. I don't know. It's an interesting way, and it feels a little uneasy to be going opener in Game 2 of the NLDS. Not that there's anything inherently bad with it. It's just, I think, knowing in the back of your mind that this should be Brandon Woodruff, and then going Aaron Ashby and then someone else gives you a little bit of like, I don't love it.
Sure, I hear you on that. I don't mind the Ashby thing. This is he did start one game. I use quotations there, air quotes, in the regular season. I love the Priester thing because if you, and God forbid, this game gets in a scenario where you don't need him, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe you go up 9-1 again in the first 2 or 3 innings, and you decide, actually, we're going to save him for Game 3. But I just don't imagine that will be the case one way or another. I think that there'll be a case where eventually you're going to want an opener or a starter, and that's ultimately where you go there. But I like the Ashby thing, and then the stat that I want to throw out there, because you know me, big stat guy. Priester is 4-1 in the 5 games where he pitched, but he was not the starter. 4-1 this season, and those were mostly earlier in the season. But hey, 4-1. I mean, the guy only won games he pitched in, so I guess his record must be good. But like that a lot from Pat Murphy. It's a council-esque move, but when you trust as many arms as Pat Murphy does on this team, whether you're a starter or a reliever coming out of the pen, this is a good problem to have. And I like the Ashby start. I like the Priester middle innings. Hopefully it's Priester. I would assume it is. Again, it's dependent on how the game falls early. And then hopefully you get to just needing Uribe and McGill, and you're up 2-0 heading to Chicago on Wednesday.
I don't mind the move. Like, we very well could just see him go the 1 inning to face the 2 lefties at the top of the order. But I think the important thing you need to remember from Pat Murphy, and I'm going to steal a quote from Matt LaFleur, changing the timeline a little bit. But you got to go 1-0 every day. You can't play for the future in the MLB playoffs, especially when this is your last home playoff game till next Saturday, which would have to be the clinching one. Hypothetically, if you lost the next 2 in Chicago, you just got to keep playing to win every single day. You can't think about the future. I don't know if he is. I doubt he is. I trust Pat Murphy to the point where I imagine he just is focused on winning every single day. But that's just, I think, something you got to remember. You can't play for the future.
I think this move is exclusively a play for now thing. He sees a matchup disadvantage for the Brewers with that top of the lineup hitting so well against what Quinn Priester does so well. And he says, we can't let them take advantage of us, so we are going to try and work them, get a lead, get into a safe spot, and then we'll go from there and figure it out.
Yeah. I'm fired up. How are we feeling about tonight? We feel good?
I'm super pumped.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I wish the game wasn't so late, but...
Okay. You're not even the one on the panel that gets to use that as an excuse.
I can use it as an excuse.
Josh, what time do you wake up in the morning?
4 a.m.
Well, what time do you wake up in the morning?
6.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm still growing, so my voice is changing. I need more sleep.
So how does that work?
What?
There's young people need more sleep than
Adults.
Yep. But once you get to a certain age, you start needing more sleep again.
Yeah.
But then doesn't it also taper off at some point? How does that work?
Brother, I assume when you're 85 years old, you probably need more sleep.
I feel like all the old people in my life barely sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't feel that way.
Well, I would also guess that's my body hurts. I can't actually get good REM sleep. It's not I don't want to sleep. It's I physically cannot do it because that's where my dad is.
Fair
His
point.
back is so bad that he just can't stay asleep.
Oh, that's good. I don't know. Now, I was explaining this to my girlfriend last week.
This ought to be interesting.
As soon
You
as
were
I
mansplaining?
No.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
I was self-explaining. I was explaining something about myself.
You're mansplaining.
I feel like I go through phases where I need a lot of sleep, and then I go through phases where I don't need a lot of sleep. And right now, I am in a phase where I don't need a lot of sleep. 5 or 6 hours a night, I'm good to go. and then like sometimes it feels like I need like 8 or 9 for a couple weeks.
If I were to be and by no means am I a sleep expert or medical doctor or anything along those lines.
I don't think we needed the clarification. Go on.
I believe you need more sleep than you're getting, and the reason it goes in such fluctuations is because you beat yourself up, your body up, and then you end up in a spot where you are more tired than you probably should be based on the amount of time you were awake.
See, but it's not like that. It's not like week on, week off. It's not week on, week off. It's like I'll go 6 months where I'm just sleeping 6 hours a night. And I feel great. And then
there's a lot of factors that contribute to sleep being better than others. Drinking alcohol is one of them that we know universally is not great for sleep.
That's true.
I can also attest from firsthand experience that I typically don't sleep as well and feel more tired, even if I went to bed at a decent time and slept a requisite amount of hours. I think the right way to approach this is you should probably find, the sleep schedule thing on your phone?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You should do it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
It helps me a lot.
I've grown up a lot in the last couple months. I'll tell you what, I'm a morning guy now. No, seriously, Josh, let me talk to you for a minute.
No, you're not.
I've been waking up without an alarm.
I'm excited to be a morning guy.
I've been waking up without an alarm at 6:30 every day.
You've been, but then it's going to change in 6 months and you're going to have a hard time. I see you come in here.
What do you mean?
When you have to fill in on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, you're not bright-eyed and bushy-tailed every time.
Not every time, but it's been better. The last several times it's been better.
There's also something here, Strouf, that you said that I don't think we're paying enough attention to. You mentioned that it's every 6 months or so it kind of changes for you. Do you know what changes around that time? You're going to be at the solstice and the equinox. So it's a seasonal thing. It's the amount of daylight. Your body is adjusting to that, and you're not paying close enough attention to it.
Yes. I'm going to deflect for a moment. Since I know he didn't write it down, can you explain the solstice and equinox to me, Will?
No.
So this is when the clocks get pushed back an hour.
Mm-hmm. That's all that happens.
Just daylight savings.
Yep.
All right. Yep.
Is that right?
They coincide with the what's the word I'm looking for here?
That giant ball of fire in the sky.
Oh, the sun being behind the moon.
I love that the MIA is a community. Hold on a minute.
It is.
I got to get some comments quick. The MIA is a community.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of the MIA listens to our other programming on ESPN Wisconsin. Chef Ed chimes in with this. Will, you still need to sleep with a pacifier. He's calling you a baby. And then he goes on to say, I usually sleep about 4 hours a night, Chef Ed.
Chef Ed consistently has just been coming at my throat the past couple of weeks. He's making fun of me for not being able to talk to girls. And
yeah, you've earned it. Mr. Fantasy chimes in and says, when Strouf fills in on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, he doesn't miss a beat, in my opinion.
That's a lie.
Funny how you read the mean comment about me and the good comment about you.
Read the mean comment about me, Will. Oh, wait, there isn't any.
Oh, wow.
Score one Strouf.
So good.
Score one Strouf.
So good.
You nailed it, bro.
Thanks, guys.
Everybody totally believes you're a morning guy.
Yeah, I know. I'm a morning guy now.
Yeah,
no, but this is a recent development.
Just like when he was a city population guy.
I am a city
population. The NBA guy.
DMA guy.
I'll always be the NBA guy.
You're not even close to the NBA guy.
Yeah.
I've always been the NBA guy.
Jack of all trades,
I'll always be the
master of
NBA
none.
guy. All right, let's get to a couple things quick because we only got 17 minutes left in the show.
guy.
All right, shut up.
The solstice guy.
Week 5 NFL, just about in the books. We've got Chiefs Jags tonight. Nobody's going to be watching that. We're watching the Brewers.
I'll have an eye on it.
I'll have it on my computer.
Yeah, my
We're
wife.
going to double TV it tonight?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, Sarah wants to do the multi-view on YouTube TV, so I'll have an eye on it too.
Why is that?
Travis Kelce and the Chiefs, Plus, dude just
We're
had
not over
multiple
that yet.
songs on the biggest album. What might be the biggest album of the year written about him? He's feeling himself.
I know we don't do picks, but it feels like Travis Kelce anytime touchdown is probably a gimme tonight.
I'm going under.
Under what?
Everything on him.
Okay.
Oh, you think it's going to have the opposite?
Too much time in the studio. Not enough time on the field.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
good
been
take.
grinding.
Yeah, good take. But just been listening to vinyls all weekend. Mm-hmm. Hasn't been focused on the playbook.
Probably not. He's probably going to not be as intense.
Been playing with his redwood.
Yeah.
Just something.
That was good. Dynamite drop it, Joshy.
It's busy. Has been in the playbook.
2-0 weekend for me on our NFL picks. I am officially in first place. Joshy goes 1-1. He's in second place. Will and Hunter both in last place, except
Hunter's in last.
Yeah. Will's cheating.
Will's cheating.
What happened?
Do the math.
cheating?
I have it up on the screen right now. Do the math on the number of games played for everyone, and then do mine.
So this is prior to the
This
weekend,
week,
but it says Strouf 4-3-1, Josh 4-3-1. Those equal 8.
Okay, this makes sense because
Will
I
4-3-1.
updated them.
That equals 8. It says Hunter 3-5-1. That equals 9.
Okay, well, I updated them this morning and realized that Hunter had an extra game, so that makes sense. And I thought I just
Will tried to pull a
happened?
fast
I thought I
one
gave
on
him
us.
an-
Will's cheating.
Hey, Will,
Oh,
your boy
yeah.
Chef Ed's calling you, by the way. I think he's calling to apologize for making fun of you. But it's actually Will's time to shine on this very good Monday. It's been a terrific show today. Redwood mentions. Will is going to recap the weekend as he does each and every Monday.
we had to do
Chris Berman-esque style. It is time now for Will's Weekend in Review.
What? Let's go to American Family Field where the Cubs took on the Brewers in Game 1 of the NLDS. Nick was merely phased as he struck out 2 to close out the game. I would say that he'd get a save, but according to the baseball rules, there must be a 3-run lead or less, and the Brewers were winning by so much more than that. Brewers take Game 1, 9-3. Game 2 tonight at American Family Field with your Will's Weekend Review. I'm Will Summers. Whoop, whoop.
All right, so a couple things. I'm starting to understand why Will's voice is shot.
Well, I could hear in there that he was trying to hit some places that his voice wasn't allowing him.
Yeah, it took
When did you record that?
This morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
He came in less than 100%.
That might be your best Berman yet, though, in terms of the impression. That might have been
Thank you.
the best one yet. A lot of ha's, and for those of you that don't know baseball, that means he didn't even go a full inning. Good moments, good stuff. I really don't have a ton of notes. That was good.
Yeah, I was mostly just going off of how embarrassing of a performance it was by the Chicago Cubs. So it was a fun one.
And I hope there's more to come there, because I said to somebody this morning, there's not a lot of weekends in the fall where I have stress-free sports viewing. Outside of about 10 minutes in the top of the first inning on Saturday, I had a stress-free weekend. I didn't watch the Badger game, because why would I?
You did have a lot of stress deciding on when to leave, to get in an Uber, to then go to a bar to watch the game.
I'm literally only talking about sports, Josh.
You also had to go for a walk because you were so stressed out after like 4 pitches.
No, I was pacing. I always pace. We've been over this. I'm a pacer.
Is pacing? What do you do while you pace?
Stress.
I circle. I wouldn't say I had to go for a walk. It's not like I walked to the Summerfest grounds.
I think he's
Pacing by
definition.
definition is walking, Strouf.
It is.
Yeah, but you said take a walk. That makes it sound like I
You
walked
took a
out.
lap.
Yeah, you took
I didn't
a lap.
take a lap.
You took a lap.
Did you
lap
put
is
your
4
left
steps
foot in
this
front of
way.
your right foot and
Four
move
steps
forward?
this way.
And then you return to where you originally were. That's a lap.
How about you take a lap right now?
Yeah.
How about you work on your
Got him.
voice, loser, loser,
Oh.
First time I heard that one.
jerk, dork.
What I liked the most this time was Berman/Will interjecting opinions into it. Usually, and in the past, it had been mostly just a reporting of what took place. There was a few little snide remarks that I thought were a welcome addition to Will's update.
Yeah, that was good.
I was trying to be a little mean.
Yeah, as it
it
should be.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good ad.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Oh, jeez.
What? No more Mr. Nice Guy. Out of anybody, you had the worst day on this program.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh,
How?
absolutely.
Big time. Yeah.
Why have I had the worst day? Well, we still got 10 minutes left. I can recover.
It's going to be tough. You put 50 minutes of bad out there.
Okay. Is a good time to bring up Mark Sanchez or no?
We don't have
Probably
to.
not.
Yeah, we're not going to. I'm just kidding. I was just throwing that out there.
If I learned from anything over the events of the weekend, probably
Never judge a book by its cover.
no.
Oh, okay.
I was referring to the other story from the weekend that was highly disappointing. Probably let the facts play out before we rush to any judgments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going to judge. It was more so just the timeline of events is bizarre.
Very strange. The one thing I will take note of is it's interesting that Fox was the one put that out before the police put theirs out, which seemed to be intentional to try and sway public opinion, which has now gone way the opposite direction.
Oh, yeah, of course it has.
Especially now after he's been charged with a felony.
Yeah. But it was just bizarre because I think it all came at early Saturday morning and then more details and more details and more details and more detail. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
The hell happened in Indianapolis?
I hope he gets the help he needs.
Agreed.
That's where I'll leave it.
Yeah, I agree. And I hope the 69-year-old driver's all right and recovers. And I mean, it's just bizarre. Truly.
Yeah, the video and picture footage is true.
I haven't seen any of the video, but I've seen the photos.
Yeah, there are some video, I believe, that was released from a nearby business.
Interesting. Okay. Well, on that, let's get to what we missed and what we learned, which is presented by Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits, made locally in beautiful Door County. Josh, you said it last week. What season is it?
Bourbon season?
Bourbon season, baby. Got my bottle this weekend. My newest bottle, I should say. Door County Distillery Bourbon. Picked it up at my local retailer. Find your local retailer. It's bourbon. They've got the single malt whiskey. They've got the rye whiskey, if that's more your jam. And, of course, they've got a wide array of products as well. Gins, brandies, vodkas, rums, etc. But I love me some bourbon. I love the Door County Distillery Bourbon. I think you'll love it, too. So find the retailer nearest you, doorcountydistillery.com, as well as a huge list of unique cocktail recipes. We kind of breezed over the NFL weekend, and I saw Will tweeted this. I don't know what.
You're not going to the most obvious one here?
Maybe I am not, but we have time to get there, so I'll let you go there. But I was going to go to the Arizona Cardinals, which doesn't feel obvious.
I was thinking Packers related.
Oh, we'll get to that. Yeah.
Okay.
I know what you're referring to now. Okay. You tweeted that you've watched a lot of Arizona Cardinals ball this year.
I feel like, I'm a red zone watcher, and I just feel like I've consumed way. Yesterday, they kept showing the Panthers on offense consistently. Like, I didn't see the Dolphins on offense for 2 hours. Like, there's just some teams I feel like I've consumed way too much football of them. I don't know if it's because they played a couple primetime games a week ago, and I just have the thought in my head. But I've watched way too much Arizona Cardinals football already.
I mean,
hate them.
They were up 21-3 against the Tennessee Titans, who stink. I believe their quarterback referred to them as ass a week ago, and they blew that game. Now, Amari DiMarcado, who somehow is still their third running back, despite being their third running back at the beginning of the year, and the first two running backs got hurt and didn't play yesterday, and was somehow still our RB3.
Do you want me to explain why?
No, you don't have to explain why.
It's a very, very easy way to describe it.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you have a guy that can run the ball and that works in the role of pass catching, usually, you just replace them one for one with the guy who was on the practice squad. Because Amari DiMarcado cannot do what Trey Benson or James Conner did, so that would leave it to Michael Carter.
Oh, except he busted off a 71-yard run and then decided to let go of the football at the 1-yard line, resulting in a Titans touchback. I think we know why he's RB3 now, yes. Because for the first 71 of those 72 yards, man, it looked like, wow, why have they not given him the ball all game? And then, I think ultimately, you know why? He got a little too excited.
I hate the Cardinals. I hate watching Kyler Murray play football.
He's not going to make it much longer.
He should have played baseball.
But we've been saying that for years. I mean, this is year 7 for him?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's lost 48 games in a 7-year NFL career, but Sunday's 22-21 might have stung the most.
I mean,
that on ESPN.com.
It's just, I don't want to put the loss on him. What happened? That was coaching malpractice. They with an opportunity to put the game away at one point, they went run. And as you said, they were on their 4th string running back in Michael Carter and then their 3rd string running back in DiMarcado. And they decided, let's rush it.
So 2 NFC North games on Sunday. There was one 8:30 a.m. in London, which the Vikings defeated the Browns, obviously a team the Packers didn't defeat. And then the afternoon game was the Lions at the Bengals, and the Bengals looked awful, scoring 21 points of their 24 in the fourth quarter, losing 37-24. I think that's the one you're referring to, given that the Packers play the Bengals next week? Or are you referring to the Vikings-Browns game?
Nope.
Neither?
Referring to the piece of news that came out related to the Packers.
Oh, Christian Watson.
Yes.
Yeah, Christian Watson practicing today up in Green Bay. He has 21 days to be activated from the PUP, the physically unable to perform list, for the Packers. So Christian Watson will be back soon. I don't know if it'll be Sunday, but it'll be soon.
I feel like
Which is a big ad for this offense.
with the way training camp went and the way things have kind of shaken out, they didn't know. They were pretty sure. I think he could have probably played like week 2 or week 3.
Yeah, look, I mean, I remember at Summerfest, you and I were doing shows.
Yes.
End of June, early July. And there was videos circulating of him running at full speed already.
Yes.
So I would not be shocked if we see him.
I think they just
Sooner
played it
than later.
safe because of the depth they had, and now injuries have popped up where his return to the field might be quicker than we anticipated.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if it was this week. I understand why you would hold him out, though, because returning to NFL action, maybe it's on a super limited basis, like a 16 snap type game, and then you bring him along that way. But I mean, he's looked ready to go pretty much all since July.
Right. And I mean, I just don't know if this is the week to bring him back. Probably also playing into my brain just because of how it works is you are by far the biggest favorite in NFL Week 6. The Packers are favored over Cincinnati at Lambeau Field on Sunday by 14.5 points. Vegas expects them to win by more than 2 touchdowns, which A, tells you just how bad the Bengals are, but B, that after a week off and a lot of guys returning to practice, you saw Zach Tom return to practice today. You saw Aaron Banks return to practice today. Devontae Wyatt did not practice, unfortunately, with that. I believe it was an ankle injury or knee injury. It was a knee injury because it was an ankle last year for Devontae
Do you
Wyatt.
think we get our first Aaron Banks complete game?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. And maybe we do, and hopefully I'm wrong on that, but that's been a disappointment so far this season for Green Bay. But yeah, the Christian Watson news is big news, but the Bengals stink. Did you watch that Lions-Bengals game at all?
I did.
PU.
Jake Browning looked to be the worst quarterback I've ever seen.
Until the fourth quarter.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then strangely, the Lions went into nobody behind us defense, but all they did was allow people behind them from that point forward.
Yeah.
There was a serious lack of aggressiveness that you could plainly see in a different, and maybe they had some, I wasn't paying close enough attention to the actual players, but I was watching it as the main broadcast, and then I just switched to Red Zone. And every time I looked up, there was somebody running behind the Lions defense.
Yeah, I mean,
it's still Jamar Chase, and he's good. I understand that.
At the end of the third quarter, it was 28-3.
Yeah.
But then the Bengals' next 3 drives, they went touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
Correct.
So you're right. I mean, the fourth quarter, not so good, but that game was over.
Yeah.
Jake Browning was horrendous up until the fourth quarter, finished 26 of 40, 251 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks.
He would have had 2 safeties if not bailed out by a penalty.
Correct. Did have one at the end of the game.
He had what seemed to be 10 possible interceptions. Only 3 of them were actually converted. Every time I looked up, the Lions had their hands on the ball.
There was a point
on
in that
defense.
game, by the way, in the third quarter. There was a point in that game where Jamar Chase had more tackles than he had receptions.
Yes, correct.
Ultimately finished with 6 catches, including 2 touchdowns.
3 tackles still, though.
3, yeah, he made more tackles than he had touchdowns.
Yeah.
He had as many tackles as the Bengals did touchdowns.
Yeah.
He plays wide receiver.
Yeah.
So the Packers should have a pretty good chance of winning on Sunday. I'm not going to call it a cakewalk like I did the Browns. I've learned from my mistakes there, but should be a pretty easy win for them on Sunday.
Did you guys see the line?
14.5. I just mentioned that, yeah.
Oh, boy.
He just pulled the Strouf.
Very big line.
He did.
Yeah, he just
Will.
pulled
It
the
was a
Strouf.
callback.
Come on.
It was a callback.
Oh.
Got it. All right, well, what'd you learn?
I do have some clarification on the fall equinox. It is when the sun crosses the celestial equator, causing nearly equal amounts of daylight and darkness for most of the Earth.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, yes, and those bring in the celestial, like autumn and winter.
Well, what is
and
celestial,
summer?
I don't know.
You knew the word.
I mean, I was winging it.
Well, and now, Will,
I'll-
off of the context of what I was talking about, why would that affect Strouf's sleep pattern? The solstice and the equinoxes.
All right. What is this? Astronomy 208?
Yeah, we should call Aaron Rodgers at one point rumored
Deborah
lover.
Silverman.
Well, I was thinking Blue of Earth, but I still get Deborah Silverman emails, man.
See,
I
this
can't
has
get off
nothing to
that
do with
email list.
astrology. This is literally the amount of daylight that
Oh.
there is.
Yeah, but if you ask them, this has everything to do with
Who's
astrology.
them?
The astrology
Astrologists?
Yeah, those people are weirdos and
Astrology
dumbasses.
freaks.
Whoa.
All right, I'm saving Celestial for next episode, next Wednesday.
Yeah, let's give you 48 hours to research
Are we
that
going to
one.
update the ass rankings?
At some point, yeah.
Yeah.
At some point. Maybe after this week. I'm pretty locked into baseball right now. I'm not going to any fests tonight, so. Should be
Locked
pretty
into
locked
baseball
in. All
until
right,
that
does
one
it-
time.
So glad.
That does
So
it. That
glad.
does it for us today. We're back with you Wednesday ahead of Game 3 of the NLDS, and also to talk a little Packers Bengals the rest of the week. Appreciate you hanging out with us on this Monday. If you missed any of the show, remember you can watch it back ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and of course you can get your podcasts wherever you get your podcasts. ESPN Wisconsin app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It didn't make sense. Well, just ignore it. That's
See
where
how
you
I
can
don't
get
say
podcasts.
anything?
Yeah,
See, I didn't
I
say
appreciate
anything?
it. Well,
Just
you,
kept to myself.
I have a question I want us to depart with. Do you think Alex Strouf, intentionally or unintentionally, tells the most untruths on ESPN Wisconsin?
what did I do?
Just the way you're locked in, but you're going to fasts. I'm this guy, I'm that guy.
We'll talk to you on Wednesday. Goodbye. Peace.